Hello again and welcome to our Down and Dirty mini movies. This is video number 5 in our short film help series. Now today we're going to be back in the magnet field and we're going to be looking at the drawing tools inside the map view. These drawing tools help you, especially with any type of drawing capabilities for a vertical market. Specifically, they use these techniques a lot, but also for surveyors, you definitely can find some help here also. Now, I call this the Down and Dirty series specifically because these are very limited edited videos. They're just down and dirty to the point. Again, introducing you to techniques of the software and expose you to certain things that the software can actually do. For true training, always go to the e-learning website. Professional Services does excellent professional training videos on features of our products, and then a lot of resources now on the new My TopCon Now app, a great resource TopCon has for us all. So we're going to begin with magnet field, and this is 6.1.2 for the version number. I have a job that I've brought in a AutoCAD file of lines. This is a foundation with some certain columns and so forth that we're going to use as our example. Here we have the drawing toolbar that we're going to be working with today. If you do not see that, just expand it. It will populate across the screen. We're going to be creating some points, lines, area. We're going to fillet some edges. We're going to do and show the best fit curve through some points, best fit line through points. And also, if you have a couple of lines that are in different segments, a lot of times when you bring drawings in, sometimes even curves are segmented, you can actually combine those, and we'll show you in the tutorial how to do that. So to begin, we've got this foundation, and we're just going to zoom in here and basically use the examples of the drawing toolbar to show you how they work. Not necessarily something you would do out in the field based on this particular drawing, but I just want to cover what these icons actually do. So let's cover the points first. We can actually, before we actually get into the submenus for points, always know that you can just right click and create a point anywhere you want. It's not really tied to any particular entity that way, but right click and create a point. But tying it to maybe the end point of a line, we can pick closest to whatever end of the line, and it will create the point there. Now go ahead and click back on the actual icon to conclude that particular function. Okay, so that's the end point, create there. We can also select midpoint, and we'll select the midpoint of this line. Click back on point to conclude. This next icon allows us to create a point in the center of a circle. So find your circle, click, and then it creates the point in the center. Next is at an intersection of two lines. We'll choose this line and this line, and we have our point there. And then we have perpendicular to a line that we're going to create a point. So perpendicular point to the line. Now notice here it's kind of hard to see, but this line extends and it's actually offset a little lower than this. So maybe we want a point on right here on this particular line. So we'll choose this icon, we'll choose the point first, and then we'll click the line, and notice that it draws a temporary line here and shows you where the point's going to be created. Click the point to conclude the function. Last but not least, we can actually create points on north, south, east, and west portions of a particular circle. So if you choose this icon, and as long as you choose closest to the north or west, east, west, so forth, that's where your point will be created. Now you will have to go back to the icon again for each particular point. And then once you have your 4 points around the circle, you can go back to the point to conclude that. Next, we'll take a look at the line feature. So if you're going to draw a line between points, you would not use a submenu. Just click the line icon to get it activated, and then you can actually pick a point, for example, and it would draw the line between the 2 points. Okay. So let's draw a line from an endpoint. This is the end of a line, for example. So maybe we want to go from this endpoint to the endpoint of this line. If that's good, hit the line to complete the action. We can actually choose the midpoint, and we could choose the midpoint of any particular line. I'm going to pick a line that doesn't have no point number, but it is a midpoint of this line, and maybe you want to draw that to the center of the circle. See how it draws to the center of the circle. Let's go back over to here. Let's draw a line from the intersection of this line and this line to a point. I don't have to choose anything, just choose the point, and then hit the line to complete the action. Let's go back to line, and let's draw a line perpendicular to a point. Now I want to extend this line out, and let's take, for example, we did not have 135. We want to bring that line out to here. I'm going to make it perpendicular to this point here. So first I'm going to choose the point. All right. And then I'm going to choose the line. Make sure this is activated. And notice that it draws the line out, and it should match 135. But again, whether you had a point there or not, perpendicular to a line, choose a point first, extend the line, and then back to line to complete the action. We can actually draw a line from anything to one of these quadrants of a circle. We have points on here, so let's choose this one so I don't have any points here. But we could, for example, choose maybe intersection of a couple lines to the quadrant, and we'll choose toward the north if that's what we wanted to do, and hit line to complete the action. So next we're going to take a look at the area feature that we have here. I'm going to come down and just use this area in here, and also I'm going to play around with some of the different ways to snag the end of a point, midpoints, and so forth, just to run through the motions on it also. So a lot of times you'd probably just go from the center of these columns to calculate area or whatever, but again, I'm just going to play around, show you that if you click the endpoint, it's going to start with the endpoint. You click the midpoint of a line, it's going to choose the midpoint. choose the center of the circle of a circle. It's going to jump to the center of the circle, and let's choose an intersection of this line and that line. So that's the area that we've created for the example. We'll go back to the area icon to complete it, and now we have basically a points list area created. So now we can left click and then right click, calculate area, and see the square footage that we created by the area functionality that we made. You can go back to the results and save this out to Cogwell results if you want, and save it in your results directory in your map view. We won't do that at this time. Next, let's take a look at the fillet command. I'm going to zoom down to this little area here of maybe a parking lot, and possibly this is an island, and we want to round these edges off. So we go to fillet, type in whatever distance that you want. Let's try 5. That may be too much, I'm not for sure. Select the first line, select the second line, and then you have that information here. Click the icon again to complete it, and now you actually have the fillet. Now this here, let's highlight this, is one line, but also you still have these independent lines are still there. Okay, now if you click here, it's going to bring up the independent line, the original line, plus the line and the fillet and the line as it's combined. So if you're selected them, you would actually choose that. Now that would allow us to delete this line and still retain the line here, here, and here, because that's part of the command. So next, let's do a best fit curve. Let's zoom over to here, and maybe one example would be is if you had a line coming in, maybe this is a PC and a pointed tangent, you got a point located on a curve. This is just one example. So best fit curve, we'll choose the end point or end of the line here of this line. Since it's just a point, I don't have to select anything. I just clicked point, and then I can select the end of the line here. If that's what I want to use as my best fit curve, I hit the icon again to complete the action. Okay. The next one is a best fit line between points. So take for example that you've measured maybe a fence line that's crooked up to here and you want to do a best fit. That's one example. So choose your best fit line, and since it's just points, I don't need any of these secondary icons. We'll just select our points as we go, and we'll choose all of the points that we want to do the best fit through. Once they are selected, hit the best fit line icon one more time to complete the action. Now the last icon we'll cover is to join two lines together. Sometimes you bring a drawing in, and even on a curve, I've seen curve being segmented out, and you want to actually combine that to be one continuous line. So let's just draw us a quick line from the end of this line to this point. So we have this line and we have this line, and we would like to make that one continuous line. So let's click the icon to combine the lines, select the first line, Select the second line. Let's combine the lines. Okay. Now when you click this line, now you have the original line, plus you have a choice to grab the two lines combined. This line and that line. Let's uncheck that. Uncheck that. Same way when you select this line, you've got the original, then you've got the combined. So that completes this tutorial on the drawing toolbar. So once again, thank you for watching, and for suggestions on other short videos, please drop me a call, text, email, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you for watching.